Oh Lord, there's gonna be another tough chapter to talk about.
We finna clown that nigga, bro.
Yeah.
Well, who we clowning, man? Everybody was clean.
Come on, man. You know who we clowning?
No, come on, man.
That bald nigga.
No, not the ball, nigga. The one with the big nose.
Yeah.
He does have a big nose, to be honest.
We clowning this nigga too, though.
We gonna get into that. We gonna get into. I won't say much.
Nobody should be clowned, man. This is wrong with the anime community now, man.
You like to lead the way, Sasuke?
Well, we're gonna talk. I thought everybody's gonna get their quick thoughts real quick.
Yeah, lead the way.
Nah, that's. I want to say too much. I want to go into it.
All right. Steve-O, Kishi.
Man, I don't think nobody deserves to be clowned, man, because everybody, they just doing their job. The heroes doing their thing. Everybody fall down, but it's about how you get back up. You know what I'm saying?
The whole Darkshine pep talk for him, I thought that was nice. It's showing that the heroes aren't totally self-centered people. They, but given who was giving him the pep talk is a little, saying it out of both sides of his mouth. So, I mean, even Atomic says it's like, weren't you the one that was crying like a bitch on the radio? So, but yeah, but I think this is going to be a big turning point for Darkshine because he's starting to, I think, come around to why he became a hero was not the true reason why people become heroes. He was doing it all for the glamour and the thrill of the fight and, just like, I'm better than all of you monsters kind of deal. But it's like, no, it's to save people, protect those around you, It's like, but I think that might become a thing. I was also hoping when they asked him, it was like, is there anyone you want to protect? I thought he was going to say Mizuki. That would have been connection for a mentorship or apprenticeship and everything, because that interaction.
Or that pussy.
I was just about to say, man, ain't trying to blow that bitch back out.
I'm just saying that would have been a fun way to kickstart that idea. It was like, wait, there is someone, and maybe he didn't know her name at the time, but it's like, yes, I protected her. I want to protect her and everyone else, and it's like from there it just kind of grows, and then he becomes a true hero.
Big cock.
Mizuki gonna be the only one who could withstand a named attack from him. Maybe for alloy thrust, Darkshine stroke,
Darkshine missile,
bazooka.
No, that's why
I could imagine he hit that from the back, and then the bazooka hit, and then she just fly across the room.
Oh,
the
no.
bed shifts, and then the wall just collapses. And then she's in the other apartment. Down the street.
They got a fucking padded room or something.
There ain't no padding enough.
He was pig guard running.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the paperboard running. What is that?
I don't even know what the fuck we talking about, though.
Yeah, this chapter was good. I mean, like Kishin was saying with the whole Amai pep talking our boy Darkshine, I was like, hey, wait a second. This guy, and yeah, Atomic Samurai just looking at him like, hey, this the bitch who was crying on the mic. But the other thing was, I was like, hey, wait a sec. Wasn't it Amaya that was literally just considering murdering all these guys a chapter ago? And now he's turned around, he's like, hey, no, my friend, you can't be like that. And I'm just like, hey, what's this guy doing? So yeah, I didn't like his kind of two-faced nature, but I suppose at the end of last chapter he showed that, this is something he's always trying to suppress. So I thought it was cool how we got kind of character development for Amai Mask, but also how that transitioned into developing Darkshine, because he says to Darkshine, we're dealing with the same kind of shit in terms of why we want to be heroes and suppressing our fears and not letting the little people inside of us take over. So I thought that was pretty cool, and the fact that it was delivered by My Mask was probably the best placed person to do that. While Atomic Samurai was there, kind of trolling everyone, looking at it like, "Hey, this is kind of funny. Where my popcorn at?"
If I lost my best attack, I'm trolling, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, especially with like the Darkshine stuff, I've definitely said it a few times. I always thought it'd be Metalbat who'd be the one to talk to about, like, you know, like protecting something, like having the spirit to do it and stuff. I agree with what Sundown said. You know, like it's after how the last chapter ended. It was nice to see a slightly different side of My Mask where he isn't a dick. So it's good to see that, at least, and like just seeing the heroes get together, you know, just seeing them actually like interact with each other, doing stuff together. It's nice that they're actually cooperating, because obviously like that's kind of the thing they need to do to face these bigger threats now.
Let's begin with the I guess torture, downplay, harassment, roasting, getting on of, cooking of Darkshine. I'm about to flame your ass, boy.
Boy, I'm about to cook your ass.
You're gonna be real, Doc.
Oh damn!
Curled up in the corner, old bitch looking ass, bruh. Out there crying, running away from a Garou looking ass, bruh. Oh, non-bazooka having ass looking ass nigga, bruh. Oh.
Milk the head ass nigga.
And Bozo knows.
Oh, big meat having ass nigga.
Whoa. What?
Someone just said jealous with that one.
Wait, how'd you even know that though?
Man, you seen the poses, bruh. Stop.
Nah, you wanna explain that?
I mean, we once analyzed one chapter who had a bigger dick out of Gale Wind and Hellfire Flame because of the raindrop that was covering their meat. So I think we can speculate. I think we can speculate on Darkshine.
All right. Well, he's several times larger than most niggas, and you see the length of his piece whenever he's standing tall. So it's about, you know, the length of a face.
Yeah, you know what they say too: big feet, big feet, big dick.
Big feet, big meat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was young niggas gave it that though, but all right.
You're the one that brought it up, goddammit. I don't even try it.
All right, so Darkshine though. This man. All right, let me mention this first. Darkshine did not lose to Garou.
Continue.
I feel like he wanted us to respond. I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on the explanation. I'm waiting on the explanation. That's it.
All right. We saw Darkshine go up in a bubble without a scratch on him. We saw him do a flip immediately after Garou had him, or Garou was straddling him above him, intimidating him. He flew up in the bubble and started pleading for Garou to run to safety. He gets to the surface team, and in a few panels, we see a My Mask go off on him physically. Pooty mentions, "See? No damage. You're still great." After he had just encountered who we may consider an individual stronger than half the people on the surface right now. So, Darkshine didn't lose to Garou.
All right. All right. This is where we separate, because I guess just like fundamentally, like what we call an L. Like, you're right. He did not get like physically damaged. Like, he's still clean and whatnot. He could still fight. He could still go in this fight and start bodying niggas. You know what I'm saying? But what he did to Darkshine wasn't just like beat his ass to where he can't fight. He broke this nigga's will. Mm-hmm. Had it not been for this pep talk, he would still be in his fetal position, not doing shit, just standing there like a fucking rock. like a Snorlax. Like, I think the fact that he just drained his entire morale, that counts as a victory. Because if, like I said, if it wasn't for Sweet Mask talking to him in this chapter, he would not be in this fight. He would not have any motivation to fight anymore. So I guess that's where he got defeated at. He got defeated in, I guess, tenacity and willpower.
I was to bring a metaphor to, like, I guess help clarify like the reality of it, because I definitely, you said the truth, but I think we just mentioned two parts of the same truth. And I think a good metaphor comes from this video that I was watching, I think it was yesterday, about bombardment. I was giving the history about bombardment and like some facts about it. And apparently, like, bombardment is like 1% effective. Like there are times in like World War I and World War II where like they would throw like 43 tons of explosives. Like, I don't know if you know how much a ton is, but 43 tons of explosives, and 25 people would die. And they're like firing across like an entire line of like 800 kilometers worth of like of air that they're bombing, and 25 people die. And there's like hundreds of thousands of people there. Like, that's how ineffective bombardment is, but we still do it on a consistent basis to this day. The guy continued to explain that like the purpose of bombardment isn't necessarily to kill individuals, it's to keep them from fighting. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of like the term shell shock or stuff like that, but like that's what it does. Like, if you're sitting in a corner, or if you're standing there, however you want to decide to be, and you can't move because everywhere around you is being destroyed by explosions that are so loud that they're petrifying, continuously for hours on end, like literally hours on end. Like, they were talking about like 14 hours worth of bombing, like consistently, like literally every three, like, no, it was like 6 explosions would be around you, like within 100 yards around you, every minute, 6 huge explosions for hours on end, 14 hours, half days, even sometimes multiple days in a row. That demoralizes you. That's a way to win too. That's how you hear in like World War II, where like people would capture 100,000 prisoners. It would be because of that, because they petrified half of their fighting force, and then the rest just like surrendered. So like, I can agree 100%. We saw what we saw in the panels. Garou not only matched bazookas, but tanked all kinds of stuff. Had Darkshine screaming eek. But it's also true that Darkshine has no damage right now. So the fact that just this chapter, one chapter of a conversation with some heroes, a naked guy, 2 naked guys, and some pretty boy kicking him around, was enough to like bring back his like what is it, libido or bravado, or like his, you know, his confidence to fight.
Libido.
Yeah, that either means that like Garou beat his ass on some like minor scale and he just brushed it off with this, or we're gonna see some major regression in terms of Darkshine and fighting whenever we actually get him in another fight. That's what I like think in the overarching picture, and that's why I wanted to make that statement that like Darkshine didn't lose, because I'm prepared to clown the hell out of him in this conversation, in this podcast, but the future is very iffy for him. Like, this, to me, this was just too quick and too easy. All it took was a mind mask getting a little sentimental and admitting that like the same problem that you're having, he has it and he's dealing with it, so you should deal with it too. That Pooty sitting there encouraging him that like, hey man, look at the reality of things, like you're doing great, things are great, so just keep it up and you'll be fine. Like, all that stuff is cool and whatnot, and it seems to have worked. But if it did work, that's way too fast. And like Garou didn't beat his ass enough. If like it just took a little pep talk to get him back into conditions. Like, if this is supposed to be somewhat realistic, because it's not just like in It's not just synonymous to the example that I gave about bombardment. We all encounter situations like this. You know, a girl may tell you no. She may be like, hell no. She may even make a big deal about it. She may even embarrass you. And that may bring down your confidence. Now you don't want to ask the next pretty girl. You have to build up the confidence to do that again. Maybe you sitting there, there's a guy who's being a dick to you and he happens to be on the same team as you. And then you find out that he's going for the same position as you. And you find out that he's actually better than you. So the guy who's humiliating you and being a bully to you actually took your spot. The one thing that you really were appreciating or you wanted to do or some shit like that. Like, there's all kinds of scenarios. You could be at your job. You're sitting there working hard as hell for a raise, but then there's another guy who may not have the same credentials as you, but he works harder, or there's something about him that makes him as good as you, and then the management picks him instead. Now all that hard work seems worthless, and now your confidence is broken. You don't want to do anything, all because of that result. So all I'm saying is that, like, if this is supposed to be somewhat realistic, if we're supposed to relate to this, and this was kind of a pretty quick convincing, so I'm expecting Darkshine to, like, fail whenever he encounters Garou again, or another big fight, another big problem, or Garou really didn't beat his ass.
I see what you mean, but I feel like the way that can be like alleviated is if we see Darkshine's, like, he says like he's ready to go and everything like that, but if we see him struggling to get back to like hit the same type of confidence he had before, I think that would be enough.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's been emotionally broken. It takes time to heal that kind of thing. So I think you were right in that, Grim. I think it'll be like he has to do something to redeem himself against Garou for his confidence to fully come back. I don't know what, maybe, but I think he, for a while at least, if he fights anyone else, he's not going to be his usual self.
Yeah, and I kind of agree with Grim in the sense of, you know, this all seems very quick, that Darkshine just, you know, 1 second he basically got his identity broken and stolen from him, saying that, you know, you're only in these fights, you're only a hero just to toot your own horn and to really inflate your own ego. You don't actually do it for being a hero. You don't protect anyone. And then the people that seem to know him best, because I don't think we've met anybody who knows him better, the other S-class heroes kind of give him a reason, or kind of remind him that, you know, his reasoning hasn't been too flawed. It's just that he needs to adjust his mindset so that, you know, whether he's protecting himself or he's protecting someone else, that becomes his main goal. And I think the way he reacted at the end of this chapter when he stood up and he's like, roar, yeah, I'm going to kick some ass. That was more kind of like how when you watch a YouTube video and The Rock's just there like, I had $7, now I have 7 billion. And, you know, after you watch a video like that, you get that burst of motivation. You go and you do like 50 press-ups and they're benching people and stuff like that. But in order to maintain that consistency, you have to then, you know, really change your mindset around it, which is what I think Darkshine's going to go through. This is his burst of motivation for this moment. But then seeing whether he's actually going to change his mindset long term when he comes up against monsters, and when he hopefully comes up against Garou again, we can actually see whether he's actually changed himself or whether he's still that same Darkshine that was fighting for just that inflated ego.